Mary and Rachel had some buttons. The ratio of the number of buttons Mary had to the number of buttons Rachel had was 4:7. After Rachel had used 114 buttons and Mary had used 30 buttons, Mary and Rachel had the same number of buttons left. How many buttons did Mary have at first? This is what we call the equal concept, but it's your equal ending concept. If I were to show you using model, it will look like this. 4 units for Mary, 7 units for Rachel. The ending is the same. So you cut it from the front part of the model, alright? It doesn't matter where you cut. It'll be better not to cut it at the exact unit marking over here. It can be greater, it can be smaller. Just one line to demark it. This is the equal section that's left. So you can see that Mary used 30 of them, so this is 30, and Rachel actually used 114. Alright, so this actually means this is the one part and this is the one part that's equal at the end. And how do we know this difference here? Could you tell this 3 units is actually 114 minus the 30 over here? So 3 units equals to 84, and you can find 1 unit, which is 28. So we need to find Mary's number of buttons right at the beginning. 1, 2, 3, 4. There are 4 units here, so we'll take 28 times 4. That gives us the answer 112. So model drawing can be quite easy for questions like this. However, model drawing has its limitations. Some questions are quite easy with models, but there are some questions that could be quite complex. So it'd be good to learn various methods, the model approach, followed by the tic-tac-toe, the ratio kind of presentation. Mary and Rachel had some buttons. The ratio of the number of buttons Mary had to the number of buttons Rachel had was 4:7. After Rachel had used 114 buttons and Mary had used 30 buttons, Mary and Rachel had the same number of buttons left. How many buttons did Mary have at first? Take note that it is important to highlight the keywords, so always pull out your highlighter and highlight phrases like Rachel had used 114, Mary had used 30. And the next most important keyword here is they had the same number of buttons left. This is an equal concept, an equal ending concept kind of question. Draw your tic-tac-toe table, write down the information, the names Mary and Rachel, and the side, start, change, and end. So how do we know this must be a start, change, and end? It's because they used up the buttons. You see the word used up? Alright? So the starting unit for Mary is to Rachel, follow the ratio, 4 unit is to 7 units. And as for the next sentence, be very careful what you're reading. It says Mary is to Rachel. But the way they write the statement is Rachel used first, then Mary. So be very careful with this part. So Mary used 30 and Rachel used 114. At the end, they had the same number. So we'll write 1p for each of them. This is a first connection where you understand that Mary had 4u minus 30 equals to 1p. And as for Rachel's, 7u was a starting, she used up 114 and equals to 1p. I just want to write this down to show you this double-decker bus. You can see that the upper deck 1p equals to the lower deck 1p. And therefore the top numbers in blue here equals to the bottom numbers in green here. And so this is why we write this equation that says 7u minus 114 equals to 4u minus 30. Move the 4 units to the left and you will have 7u minus 4u, and move the negative 114 to the right and you have 114 minus 30. So 3 units equals 84, and after this stage it gets easier. 1 unit is 28 is your key to unlock many mysteries. All you need to do is to read your question again. How many buttons did Mary have at first? Look at the table again. Mary started with 4 units. So all you need to do is to look for 4 units. Take 28 times 4. That will give you the answer 112. So watch the video again to understand how to use the ratio with the tic-tac-toe table leading into the double-decker bus, forming an equation that helps you to find 1 unit. Alright, so remember, after you find 1 unit, the solving is a lot easier. All you need to do is to read the question carefully.